Año Nuevo. Los mismos Extra Value Meals en McDonald's. Ahora te puedes llevar 2 snack wraps y papitas y una bebida mediana por solo $8. Solo por tiempo limitado. Precios y participación pueden variar. Los precios pueden ser más altos en Hawaii, Alaska y California y con entrega.
Thanks for listening to No Question About That. If you like the show, the best way to support us is to leave a rating and review in your favourite podcast app of choice, Spotify, Apple. And if you really love us, you can think about subscribing on patreon.com/NQATpod or on your Apple podcast subscriptions feed. We do a Blackers show every week on some kind of topic related to United. Now on with the show. Welcome to No Question About That. This is the midweek pod discussing United 1, West Ham 1 with Dharnish. How's it going, Dharnish?
Well, I mean, I haven't calmed down yet, so it's going pretty shit, really. It was going great when we scored, and there was like 20 minutes of chill, and I was turning to my brother, going, "This seems a bit too chill. It's a little bit sloppy. There's so much space in behind them, and they kind of stood there. I haven't treated myself to a biscuit. I never have biscuits either. That's how chill I was.
I've got some Oreos. We've got some Christmas Oreos at the moment. Yeah, pretty good.
Christmas Oreos. Like, what's different about them?
No, they're basically the same, except the filling is red. Just a bit of dye.
Right. Okay. So just a bit more extra food coloring.
But this is America, baby. They have like 75 different types of Oreo. Yeah, very good. Manchester United flavoured Oreos. Shit on the outside and shit on the inside too. You said 20 minutes of chill. I just don't think that's right. We scored on the hour. Maybe we had 5 minutes of chill and then we just retreated after that.
I don't... Look, it's very, very simple where they dropped points here. And it is... They took their foot off the gas after that Dalot goal, which is like insane to me. Just for those who like don't follow me on Twitter, follow me on Twitter after this or whatever. Look back at my tweets. I go, look, there's so much space in behind them, and they've gotten sloppy. They're acting like there is, like they were as tough to break down as they were in the first half, and there was nothing to attack. There was more space after the goal. It felt like they'd given up. It felt like West Ham had given up, and they were just
mad. It's mad because United have this incredible record under Amorim where we have almost double the number of points per game, where we have less than 50% possession than when we have more than 50% possession, right? So we score. It should encourage West Ham to attack and there to be space behind for the transitional football that Amorim's team seems to be better at. I was going to say excel. I'm not sure we excel at anything. And yet we didn't do it. Just sat off them, made 4 defensive substitutions. I mean, 3 of them after the goal. Anyway, let's go back to the beginning. What do you make of the team and the lineup? Because I guess some of the defensive changes were enforced. De Ligt is injured. He didn't really say anything about it, did he? Not in detail, at least.
No. Did he have an accident like Cunha? Or...
Yeah. No, that's right. Heading a football now gives you concussion, apparently. 2 weeks out. Yeah, I mean, they should have 2 weeks out for not heading a football at a near post corner routine. We'll come on to that. But Aiden Heaven in for his first game this season, I think it is.
Yeah. First start.
Premier League. First start
at the very least. We'll have to recheck that.
Starting in central centre-back, Mazraoui and Shaw on the outside of him, which is, I mean, for Heaven, I guess he's not totally unfamiliar. They've played some age group teams in central defence. I mean, plenty. But he's almost universally played at left-sided central defence under Amorim. He hasn't got any football. He looked a bit shaky in that first half.
He looked very shaky. He looked really shaky.
And he's a better player than that. I mean, it's unfair to...
But it's, it's the same with when Josh Zirkzee came into the setup a week or two ago where he was not very good for the first, 20, 30 minutes. He was better again against Palace on Saturday in the second half because that's kind of what happens when players are undercooked. They need time to come into a team. You can't just put them in straight away and go like, okay, mate, off you go. He got an early yellow card, Heaven. I think he clattered Callum Wilson. And there was a moment in the first half where Amorim literally said, he yelled at Aiden, or either that or I'm like the worst lip reader ever. And he said, calm down. Because he was like, look, mate, just calm down and play. It just feels like every single week with Man United, I'm thinking, okay, who could we change? Who could we put here? Who could we put there? And we just get centre-back changes. Like it's when we need a goal, change a centre-back, half-time, put a centre-back in. This guy just loves centre-backs. Heaven was okay. I thought all the three centre-backs were all right. I thought Mazraoui was particularly good. He's clearly got some more minutes in his legs now. I thought he looked quite exhausted last season. Amorim said he looked exhausted, but Mazraoui was doing the thing that I really like, which is you need the left or the right centre-back to push up 20 or 15 yards, because that's the only way this team creates space. It's just Heaven, Mazraoui, they all felt their way into the game, and as they got better, they scored. And as soon as they scored, it just goes without saying, the intensity dropped, and they let West Ham score a goal, and they threw away 3 points. They absolutely threw away 3 points.
Yeah, they did. I mean, this against the West Ham side that created 0.77 XG. I mean, they've been a little better in recent weeks. West Ham, maybe a minor improvement under Nuno, but you can just kind of know he's going to be. He's a good team builder, Nuno. He'll build a solid team that should be too good to go down, right? I suspect after 18 months they'll be changing it again because West Ham fans think they are West Ham of the 1960s still, and somehow they should have a right to
the
be
West
playing.
Ham way.
Yeah, great football and be rising up the table when they've never actually done that in their entire history. But anyway, that's a different topic. They were clearly there for the taking. They had a couple of key players out as well. They were not being that ambitious. They were happy to sit back and soak up pressure eventually. I mean, United were pretty rubbish for the first 15 minutes and perhaps West Ham were on top for a while. But gradually over the first half, I thought United got into the game. But I'm just wondering where the change... Where's the we want improvements, we want it to get better, but I'm struggling to see where the order of magnitude improvements are, incremental bits. Yes, sure, right, without just getting out the checkbook and buying more players, right? I'm not seeing improvement in any players over the past year at all. Improvements in some parts of the game model. We talked about it on the tactics pod. Pressing is better, not at home.
Maybe Amad Diallo. I'd say Amad Diallo over the last
improved.
Year. Yeah, just because he's played. Yeah. Just because he's played, I guess. He wasn't playing before. The centre-backs sometimes have looked better in patches and then they've gotten injured. It's just, I'm still just a little bit bewildered. It doesn't feel like, I completely understand what you're saying. It feels like we're seeing the same things a lot because he's not going to change the system. And then you go, okay, but can we still win games because we've got better players? And you go, kind of, yeah, maybe. Can we win games because we signed 2 very good players in the summer when they play well? Yeah, kind of. But they only score goals, it feels. And it felt like the same against Crystal Palace when they kind of increased the intensity a bit. When they go, okay, maybe run a bit harder, go a little bit more aggressive in the tackle, push up a little bit more. And it felt like the same today against West Ham, but it worked going mid to low block against Palace. It didn't work to going mid to low block against West Ham. It feels like they're so desperate to score. When they do score, this team is too conservative and they don't attack enough and they don't score enough goals to win games. We're just going to win games probably by 1 goal this season.
Right, well, we have +1 goal difference and that tells the story. Only 1 clean sheet all season.
I think it's scored 21, conceded 20. Yeah, I think it might be.
It's 5 at the back. I mean, you can make an argument about how many at the back it really is in different phases of play, but it's set up like that. Amad makes it different. He most definitely does increase the number of attackers. Diogo Dalot has mostly rid his game of the really egregious defensive errors that used to be part of it. He's actually not bad in the build-up, but then he can't go on the outside. And so his contribution in attacking area is almost 0, except today, of course, when he's got a nice goal. Yeah, correct myself before I finish that sentence. Yeah, but it's almost 0. Look at his metrics. It's in 50th percentile or below for all the important attacking metrics. and so that's amongst defenders, right? So it's just, it's not good enough output. It's not going to get much better. We know who he is. Same with Dorgu as well. And I think that's, given that wide areas are so important to Amorim's team, that feels like a serious deficiency in the squad that there's not much Amorim can do about right now. What he can do something about is the story that's coming from the top down. Because when you make 4 defensive substitutions, 3 defenders and Manuel Ugarte, what are you telling the team? You're telling the team that it's about getting freshness into the defense because that's the priority.
The conservative change on the 77th, 78th minute said it all. Bringing on Manuel Ugarte always symbolizes the fact that I need some tackles, I need somebody to make some awful fouls, I need someone to win 50-50s. It basically means we're just going to sit in and defend for 10 minutes. When you absolutely just didn't need to do that today. West Ham looked like they had given up after that first goal. There was less compactness, there was less space. Nuno was going absolutely nuts on the touchline. And it's a pattern of results, I think, since the Brighton game. When you look at Nottingham Forest, Tottenham Hotspur, Everton, it's the spirit is still there. So again, they got a draw today. They just about drew against Tottenham with a last-minute goal. Again, a last-minute goal against Forest. They go ahead, and then they kind of don't know what to do because they feel like that they don't have periods of domination, or they don't have long periods where they're attacking for 90 minutes. They only just kind of know how to hold on to leads, and you can't really do that. It's not there's not enough going on in this team to create more than one goal. And then obviously they've drawn against Forest, they've drawn against Tottenham, and they beat Palace, but that was more the onus of coming back after sort of conceding and needing a goal. It's just this team is good at a few things. It's good at pressing at home. It's good at increasing intensity. It's good at set pieces, and it's good at long balls. That's kind of how they've scored. But it's not good enough yet to sustain over 90 minutes. It's not good enough. It's not a good enough team to win games consistently over 90 minutes.
There's no 90-minute performance this season. Or in fact, maybe under Amorim altogether. There's probably a game I'm forgetting somewhere where we've sustained a performance for a whole game, but definitely not this season. There hasn't been a single one. No. I mean, there have been good halves, pretty good in the second half against Palace, dreadful in the first half, but they haven't sustained that over time. And I'm waiting for it. I'm like, it's very hard to. I don't want to be Debbie Downer all the time.
Yeah.
I get accused of being negative on Spotify. It's funny. It's like there's a big collection of people on there. It's like, you're being negative again. Here it is. Your agenda's come. There's no agenda. I just want United to win games and play good football, and we're not doing enough of either. In fact, we're doing very little of the good football piece. If I wanted to be really precious about it, I'd say, what of this is the United way or United DNA or what we'd have expected from United? I mean, it's just not really. And so if you're not going to provide that, you at least have to win games. And Mourinho played this kind of football in the ballpark of this kind of football. At least he won games. Lots of them.
Yeah.
And he was a toxic fuck. And by the way, I mean, another point I wanted to make while I'm moaning about Ruben is he started to get quite negative in a personal, public way.
He's dissing.
He dissed Dorgu, which I was like, is that a second language issue? It was quite rude. It's same with Len Yoro. I mean, I don't think he should be talking about players like this in public. Why does he need to talk to the press like that? Mainu's not getting any minutes. Aidan Heaven, Tyler Fredrickson, the only other academy players, well, you can't really even count Heaven, but that have had minutes this season, both subbed at half-time. You could probably make an argument for all of these things. The criticism of Yoro, he's had some bad games. The criticism, Patrick Dorgu, we know he doesn't provide enough output. We're allowed to. We're fans. We can say negative stuff because the players don't give a shit about what we say. The lack of minutes from Mainu, you can say, well, when he's come on, he's not really performed. Tyler Fredrickson, Aidan Heaven, booked Heaven was, maybe it's sensible. So in isolation, you can explain each of these things. But as a pattern...
Yeah.
the fact that he had Jack Fletcher on the bench and he was like, yeah, it's only because we want to keep that record. We talked about Jay Lacey hasn't given him a single minute yet.
He actually said that.
He actually said that. He's like, I'm not going to be the one to break the record. It's a waste of time thinking about that record. It doesn't mean anything, right? You can have a token on the bench. And so, like, it shows a pattern and I guess I know why, right? He's under massive pressure. Ratcliffe, the owner, said he's got 3 years, but really he's only got till the end of this season, because if United aren't in Europe, they're not going to leave a lame duck manager in charge for his final season of his contract and not give him a new. Well, I hope they wouldn't make the same mistake with Ten Hag and give him a new contract in the hope that it gets better, right? So he's got another 6 months or so to show us enough light at the end of the tunnel that he deserves to be the long-term United manager. So he's under pressure, so it's not a surprise that he's getting a bit tetchy, or he doesn't want to take a risk on younger players and he wants to go with what he knows and expects. But the problem is the senior pros and players that you'd want to perform, with a few exceptions, just aren't really. And that's the challenge, isn't it?
It's also the challenge when your new signings can't cover up for the lack of attacking penetrativeness in your system. I feel, and Mbeumo and Cunha, they weren't that good today, but they can't be fantastic every game. I thought Fernandes was very good. The first half was very much, I am that guy. I am for Magnifico. I'm going to run around. I will make everything happen.
This guy's top of every single metric, defensive and attacking, for United in midfield.
He was running around deep. He was running around in defense. He was crossing the ball. He hit the post. Was very unlucky to not score. It's just, again, the players can't bail you out every game. We didn't score a set piece goal today. That's not going to bail you out every game. We had, I think it's now 1 win in 5. 1 win in 5. And you look at the games that they've dropped points in and you go, okay, fine, Forest, it's a difficult place to go to. They got a point out of it. Tottenham, not a difficult place to go to. Threw the game away, got a point out of it. Everton, probably unacceptable to not break that team down and create as little as they did when they were down to 10 men. And you go, all right, fine, but they redeemed it against Palace. And then you go, okay, fine. Today, big chance. Chelsea dropped points. Liverpool dropped points. City looked shaky. They conceded 4 goals against Fulham. They conceded 2 goals against Leeds. Today is the day to capitalize. And they just didn't. They didn't. And then you go, well, after Wolves, there's another spell of fixtures where it gets tough again. You need, if you're going to get into Europe, if you're going to get into a period where you see this team going somewhere under Amorim, you need to be winning these games. You really need to be winning these games.
Absolutely. These mid-ranked sides or lower, this is where we struggle. We're 8th in the Premier League for expected goals and 8th or 9th for actual points. And so we've had a third of the season now. I think we can, that early flourish where we're like, yeah, we're top of the expected goals table. that's eroded away. We spent £200 million on swapping out attackers, and it's not that much better. It is up from 17th or whatever we were last season.
Yeah, it's better from last season, but it's not. I said this to a friend of mine, and they were like, "Yeah, mate, but you were really bad last season." So it is better from last season. It's just we're not really fixated on that. We're fixated on what we see from the system and whether it creates enough chances. And since Forest, from open play, I don't think this system that we live or die by creates enough chances or elevates the profiles, elevates the players and puts them in certain positions to create enough chances. It's more so the players have been kind of covering up for it just with their increased intensity, or just Bruno Fernandes being brilliant at set pieces, or us just being in generally good from set pieces. So it's I like a silver cloud. What do they call it? Silver lining? What is
silver
it?
lining. Yeah.
Sorry, yeah. I'm bad with
silver
those.
cloud's fine too. I mean,
I'll add a silver cloud in there. It is a long season. It is marginally better, and more so not normally in those games, the signings that they have, the players that they have, it can just be a result. Whereas we're Man United, we've got better players than you, we win. but it feels like the last 5 or 6 games it hasn't been like that, which is a worry.
I mean, it's a real worry. I guess we haven't talked about the goals. Dalot, nice touch and finish. Lucky to get to him. Good run from Ahmad. Some decent construction in that attack, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, good finish from Dalot. This player, he
let's give him his flowers today.
I'm giving him his flowers. It's good finish. It was good finish.
These lot wasted a Diogo Dalot good attacking action. These guys wasted Diogo Dalot scoring a goal. How dare they? Shame on them.
He got subbed off straight away after that for Patrick Dorgu. Yeah,
another defensive change.
Congratulations.
Switch around the back five. I thought
the goal we conceded. It's a simple corner into the near post. It's over Bruno's head. I'm not sure if he could have done anything about it. And then Patrick Dorgu's the nearest. Didn't attack it at all. Just kind of stood there. And the flick on comes in. It's a goal. It's pretty much all West Ham created as well. That was
literally
basically
the only thing that they created. I think they had 0.54 XG, 0.54 XG, as opposed to our 2.4, I believe. There's no.
You know what? None of this is consistent. I was just looking. I know, like it's how you calculate it and which data set they're using. So FOTMob has it as a 1.56 versus 0.7.
Oh, okay. Well, the system that I use for work was saying 2. But that's not good because I use that in my piece. So maybe I'm wrong.
Y-Scout, because Y-Scout is notoriously bad data.
Maybe, perhaps. But basically, point being, we had more XG than them. I think
we did.
The corner was their best chance, but you
totally out XG'd them. Take that.
You'll never saying that.
Someone should, just for a laugh.
I think it was their 6th corner. West Ham. It was their 6th corner. So
right.
It's a league where like set pieces are very important for every team. There's always the danger that they'll score from them if you keep that door open, and they did. You can switch off for 10 seconds and then that ruins the entire game. I think Slaven Bilic.
I guess the cherry on top of the cake, though. This is not how you systemize scoring goals. I mean, if we had a system that created us 5 or 6 very high quality chances a game, and you take That's 2 true. Of them, then we'd be in a much better position. But we don't have a system that creates 5 or 6 high quality chances per game. We have a system that might create between 15 and 20, maybe more than that, shots of low quality variety, right?
Yeah,
and it's not like you just add them up and go, okay, yeah, absolutely, we should be scoring 2 a game. That's not how it works, right? It's an aggregate model. And I think you're right. It's the system is holding us back. Set pieces have been a bonus this season, and he talked about it, didn't he? Ruben said it's all Carlos Fernandez. Great stealing routines, whatever it is. 3 goals is 3 goals. Still want to be able to defend them better than we did. I'm not sure I love the Diogo Dalot running across the pitch to get a towel to drive the ball so he can loop one in. It's not even the kind of flat long throw that some players have. It kind of loops it in. It's a bit, what's the point?
There's no pace on them. I know what you mean. I think there was the Xerxes chance in the first half where they cleared it off the line.
Came off his sort of thigh, and then
he was trying to chest
shot.
it in.
Bruno overhead, and then Bruno
off the post. But that's not really enough in the 50 minutes. Even when we said that, it's just, I know they should have won the game today, but it still doesn't feel like enough against this West Ham team. It feels like we're forcing it to really like what's going on, because we know that this is not going to stop. We know like he's not going to be anywhere near fired after this. We've just seen this game too many times now. We've seen this do or die, live or die by the system, and it doesn't create enough chances, but we're going to do the system anyway. And he doesn't really have much of a plan B, and there's no kind of go-to. The new go-to might be set pieces and long balls, but even that just doesn't feel like enough. It just doesn't feel like it's getting enough results, and it isn't.
No, it's not enough. And it isn't getting enough results. And Andy Slot called that out earlier in the season. They're still behind us, by the way. Just about. I know. Yeah. I mean, it's frustrating, and we can have a moan or whatever. But you're right. He's not getting fired right now. He'll get until the summer. That will be a serious point, though. Whatever Ratcliffe said about 3 years, his contract runs till 27. They will make a big decision in the summer to back him or sack him, and they can't be in a situation where they're running into November 2026 and the results are not picking up after we've spent another £200 million on midfielders or whatever. So it will be a big call. Do they back this manager? Do they really believe in what he's doing? And right now there's not much to hold on to, and it's because we've not seen I think it's the progression or the lack of it that is the problem.
Yeah,
there's some bits better, but really, is it in a quite mediocre league, or at least it's mediocre from third, fourth downwards, or just say there's a lot of teams with flaws. The prize is there.
Yeah,
isn't
it? It's up for grabs. It's more so we don't see progression in the style of play that they're doing. It feels like
it's regressed.
Yeah, it feels like
really negative.
It feels like when United need to score, the players kind of try harder, if that makes sense, without sounding like an old pundit. But it's just we're not seeing much progression in that sense. So it is kind of hard to hold on to. But we're in it for the long run. Like I said, we have to basically back it or basically hope that things get better. I will say that it will absolutely get better if we had a wing back on the other side who wasn't Amad Diallo that could be expressive and be as exciting as him. I'll give Diallo his flowers today. Again, he was brilliant. Malik Diouf got a yellow card, I think, on the 36th minute. I was like, mate, everybody just go down that wing and overload him because he's crapping it. And the goal came from that wing as well. But
good player though, Malik Diouf. I mean, he's one of West Ham's better players this season.
He didn't look it today though. Diallo had him every single time, but he was running past him each time. It's just, I think there was one point where Cunha was like, mate, I'm tired of getting tackled by Wan-Bissaka over there. I'm coming over to this wing as well. So it would be better if we had a flying fullback on the other wing, and it doesn't feel like we have 100%.
That. It'd be much closer to an Amorim side. I did enjoy some of Spider's legs today.
My God, yeah. It was like the old Solskjaer days.
He crunched into Xerxes and took him out, and then Bruno crunched into Wan-Bissaka and took him out. They had a nice moment together. Yeah, it is a one-trick pony, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, just those long, late tackles. But it's more than Diogo Dalot's got because he's a no-trick pony, that guy. Anyway, so I'm really on it today.
But he did score.
He scored. I know, he scored. I know, that doesn't make up for it.
No.
All right, so where does that leave us? I mean, 8th in the table, another opportunity lost. I mean, after such a good win against Palace, where it took advantage of their tiredness, actually played some good football in that second half, dreadful first half.
Yeah.
It feels like a step backwards again. Palace was a step forwards after Everton, which was just about as bad as it's ever been under Amorim.
Does it ever feel like you're a marketing professional just speaking into the void? But with LinkedIn ads, you can know you're reaching the right decision makers, a network of 130 million of them, in fact. You can even target buyers by job title, industry, company, seniority, skills, and did I say job title? See how you can avoid the void and reach the right buyers with LinkedIn ads. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
Well, the holidays have come and gone once again, but if you've forgotten to get that special someone in your life a gift, well, Mint Mobile is extending their holiday offer of half off unlimited wireless. So here's the idea. You get it now, you call it an early present for next year. What do you have to lose? Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Limited time, 50% off regular price for new customers. Upfront payment required. $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds may slow after 50 gigabytes per month when network is busy. See terms.
Now we go on to a game against Wolves on Monday, in which, I mean, it's an away game, so maybe Wolves will be under pressure to open up a little bit. Rob Edwards, they've got 2 points all season.
2 points. 2 points. Uh-huh. Casemiro has more goals than they have points.
That's true.
Please, I'm begging you, get in, get out, Do not embarrass yourselves.
What's the chance of Benjamin Sesko being back?
Oh, I don't know. Has he had an accident as well?
Several, yeah.
I hope he's back. The attack with those three in is miles better. So hopefully he is fit. I think I've spoke about this a lot on the tactics pod. I'll mention it again because Mazraoui did it well today. I felt one of the centre backs on the left or the right hand side needs to go. And I'd like to see Luke Shaw do it. I don't get why he's just stood there. Mate, you used to be a fullback, or you still are a fullback. Go. There's 20 yards of space on that side. We would create miles more chances if either of them do it. And I can't wait to see Lisandro Martinez back because he will do it. That is one mechanism where we can see a change in the system that will make the system better. So please.
No, I agree. And I wonder whether there's an opportunity for Martinez to start against Wolves. I know he's not had a lot of games. They were arranging a friendly against Arsenal under 21s. I don't know whether he'll have that might be next week, actually, after the Wolves game, but a chance to get a few more minutes there. That you're right. That the Mazraoui, Ahmad, and Mbumo connection down the right looks pretty good, doesn't it? And the contrast with the left is quite striking. I do wonder about Shaw. Is it a mentality thing? Is he worried about his body? Because he is a very good attacking fullback, or at least once was. And is he just worried about is he not that familiar with the position and when to go, when to support? Because he did sort of against Everton.
Yeah.
In desperate times, of course. But yeah, it's not a regular thing. Or maybe just doesn't trust the fullback outside him because Dalot will cut inside and kind of close off the zone so often.
I think maybe he's worried about the transitions coming, as in if he goes forward and it goes dead in attack coming back, because I think there was a chance in the first or second half, maybe in the second half, where it did break down. Mazraoui had to put in a really important block, or Jared Bowen would have been in. But again, you run the risk. It's Man United. You have to take some risks. It doesn't feel like this manager takes enough risks, and you can't do that. There's some no-nos as a Man United manager. That's a big no-no. Even my old friend Eric Ten Hag, 2-6-3 he used to play when he needed a goal. At least he was good at that. Yeah,
he was. Yeah, suicidally taking some risks. I mean, the master is always Fergie. He just seemed to know when to throw players on, when to take the risk, when to go for it. But yeah, he obviously had great players we do not now. All right, how do we assess Wolves then? I mean, obviously they lost Gunya, they lost Nori.
Yeah.
They I suppose they could have sold Strand Larsen in the summer. They kept him, even though there was a big bid in from Newcastle. That's about it. They haven't got a lot of good players. I mean, João Gomez we'll have a look at because there's been a lot of talk. We talked about him on a previous pod as well.
Andre is all right.
He's all right. There's a reason why they're at the bottom of the table, though.
He kicks a lot of them.
They'll match up. They'll be 3-4-3, basically.
Yeah, John Arias is all right. It's just that they've got that. I don't know why they've got that handsome fella in. Maybe for a few clicks, they were like, "That's just bad." Like you can't even get a proper firefighter manager, right? Like clubs at this point, they're like, "Okay, crap, we need to stay up. Great, get a firefighter in." It's like
call for Sean Dyche or whoever.
Sean Dyche, Sam Allardyce, Tony Pulis, but instead they got that handsome fella for some follows and some notifications. They've got 2 points the whole season. There's not really that much to shout about. They've got a midfield that kicks people here and there. João Gomez, Andre. They've got a big lad up front. Larsen's really tall. Just watch the crosses, I guess. You should be controlling that game. You should be winning pretty comfortably. But I could have said that about Everton and West Ham. So
yeah, it'll be interesting see who's fit, right? Maguire's been out for a while now. How serious is whatever the issue with De Ligt? Those are the two that are comfortable attacking in the air. No one else is. I mean, Yoro is not really that comfortable aerially. It's an area of his game that he has to improve. I'm not sure anyone else is, so the balance of that back line will be interesting. do they go with the same two in midfield again? Because I'd be looking at Casemiro and what he played 90 minutes against Palace. How many play today?
Good point.
He played a lot of today.
I think most of it. I think did he come off?
He didn't. I'm just looking at it. He didn't come off. He played none. He can't play 90 minutes again on Monday, surely.
Yeah, it's looking shaky. Yeah.
Well, that's just when his performances deteriorate. I mean, he put in a big shift today as well. Casemiro.
He was good. He was again the central midfield. I'd love to see more Kobe Mainu minutes, but at the moment I don't see it because both of them they're playing very, very well. I'd say both of them playing very well. The only way I'd see Kobe Mainu minutes is if you put him in the front three and you tell him to come back, and Bruno to go up top, and you tell him to rotate. But I would like to maybe see Mason Mount. I don't think we'll see him against Wolves. I think it'll be long balls again. I think it'll be Xerxes. For some reason, in the first half, he barely trapped any of the long balls. It kind of like comes off his foot sometimes. Sometimes he traps them. Sometimes he doesn't. Maybe he gets better with more minutes in his legs, like against Palace.
Nah, he doesn't. It's not his game. It's just putting him up there. He's a big lad, so he'll win half of them. Right?
Yeah, but that's.
I don't think there's much with purpose, right? I just he's not running the channels. That's not what he does. His skill, I was going to say superpower. I'm not sure it is really. Is coming deep into the half spaces and bringing others into play. I struggle looking at this because I just think it's unfair on him. He's just not going to perform to his best ability when the strategy is to knock it long to him as the number 9 and hope that he brings others into the game. Does sometimes. But it's not his preferred, and he's never going to turn the other way and run the channels, right? So you can't stretch the game. What did Amorim call it when he's talking about Sesko? Expand the pitch.
Expand the pitch, yeah. I mean, it's a miles better team with Šeško, Cunha, and Mbeumo. Even if, like I said multiple times on this podcast, even if they don't create enough chances in the system, those three will probably create you enough to win the game. Like they kind of did today, but they didn't. They couldn't put the game away. But no, I mean, Xerxes, he just doesn't trap enough long balls for me.
No, and there's an unwillingness to try and use the other forwards we have in the squad, or at least in the reserves, for reasons. I mean, Chidobe not ready yet. Bianchieri's more of a out-to-in player, isn't he? Not really a pure forward. So there isn't really a Ethan Wheatley, probably not good enough, so on and so on, and on loan. And so on and so on. There aren't really many options, but it's quite a downgrade, I would say. And just leaves us with a problem. I mean, we are going to have a lot of the ball. Wolves will sit back in a low block because, as you said, they'll play 5 at the back and 2 sitting in front. They'll do a lot of kicking and they'll get it long into Strand Larsen. And this will be the type of game we're struggling. We shouldn't struggling because at the moment Wolves are a championship level team.
Yeah. It's a banana skin, but it's also an opportunity to right the wrongs of Everton and West Ham tonight. Because it's the good thing about this period is there's normally a game around the corner where you can get 3 points, and this is a huge opportunity. This team has 2 points, so dust yourself off and go again.
We will indeed. Wolves, then Bournemouth. Another Monday night game. Bournemouth is bloody hell. Come on.
Monday Night Football.
And then Villa, we're catching Villa because, a few weeks back we were like, look, this period looks good for us because none of the teams were playing pretty well. Villa they've had a bit of a renaissance.
I think 7 wins in a row.
Bloody hell. Newcastle on Boxing Day and then Wolves again to round out the year.
Newcastle on Boxing Day is going to be interesting.
Were they going to give us any Christmas presents? Hanukkah presents, whatever festival you want to pick.
Hopefully we get some against Wolves. Let's get some set piece goals again. Go on, set piece again.
Yeah. Well, it says youth, courage, success on the Manchester United shirt. Not getting much of any of those at the moment. So come on, Ruben. Give us something, Ruben. Come on. All right. Well, I think that's about it, really. I think we've run out of things to say. You can catch NQ80 Extra. Maybe we should talk about youth and Amorim on the extra show this week, I will rope someone into talking about that.
Yeah.
You can catch us on patreon.com/NQAT for that, or Apple Podcast subscriptions. I've been pumping out the content on my Substack. Indeed. Yep. Twice a week.
Does not sound like you're having a good time doing that.
I enjoy the writing. It's just I haven't got anything positive to write about. I have to really dig deep to find something. But this week I talked about our new head of scouting and how that's an important position, which it is. I mean, honestly, we have been such a mess in terms of like player and talent identification, not just at the youth level, actually been more successful at the youth level, I'd say, of IDing talent, but not really at the senior level. And it's not necessarily just managing the team of scouts, this role. It's a holistic thing that brings in the data department as well as the negotiations department to identify talent for role, for game model against budget, and look at all the advanced metrics as well there. So yeah, read about that if you want. YouTube, I do post these, but everyone was asking about it. I've chopped them up because the YouTube algo absolutely punishes you if you stick a 45-minute show up there. Halved, actually, in the last 90 days, our traffic has there. They've made some tweaks.
Great.
Thanks, Google. Love you guys. Yep. Love you, listeners, mostly. Dharnish, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Anytime.
Bye now.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.